was pretty good, but it's my turn now.
Now, this is going to be a short one because the story of this movie is pretty standard. Well, I understood it to a degree. But let's review the movie Challengers, starring Zendaya. Challengers is a romantic sports drama that was released on April 26, 2024. Real quick, me and my wife went to the iPic Theater in Atlanta. Word of advice, do not drive down there. Take an Uber or a bus because if you don't violate your parking, you will be paying the general price of $30 for parking. Also, when ordering food, be sure to take cash because with a debit card, they will do an authorization hold of $70. Then once you finish your orders, they will actually charge you the amount you ordered, but the $70 hold will still be there for a couple of days. Just FYI if you ever go to the iPic. Anyway, the movie follows three main characters, Tashi, Patrick, and Art. Now, Tashi was a prodigy tennis player who was drawn to best friends Art and Patrick. Now, these two were very good tennis players, but Art could never beat Patrick. Tashi drinks with the two, and they had a three-way makeout session, which turned into a sequel makeout session with the guys. Art and Patrick wanted Tashi's number, so she told him to compete for it. However, Patrick ended up winning. After some time passed, Art and Tashi attended Stanford, while Patrick turned pro, somewhat. Now Art was being a snake and told Tashi that Patrick didn't love her and was with other women. When Patrick came to visit Stanford, him and Tashi had a fight before her tennis match. Having that fight clouded Tashi's judgment and she broke her knee, which tarnished her promised tennis career. Naturally, she blames Patrick for it, and Art, co-signing, saw this as an opportunity. He took that opportunity several years later. Now we jump many years later. Art and Tashi were married and had a child. Art is a washed-up professional tennis player that keeps losing matches. Patrick is a traveling homeless tennis player struggling to make ends meet. They both face each other in a final round of a tournament. However, behind the scenes before the match, things went down. Tashi asked Patrick to throw the match due to the fact that Art wants to retire. He will do it, and they also end up having sex. During the match, Art finds out of Tashi and Patrick's transgression. Then the game got intense, tensions from both sides of them going back and forth until it seems as though that Art wins the match. Ending the movie with cheery from Tashi. Now, there are a lot of moving parts in this film, jumping from past to present. If you were just watching two guys playing tennis, you wouldn't know what brought them to this point. Art was a rich kid that was reasonably good, but a boring guy. While Patrick comes from a rich background, he chose the life of poverty. Art knew he wanted Tashi, but couldn't win the match against Patrick all those years ago. Why didn't that snake attitude come out back then? You could have reneged and asked her for a number anyway, but I guess he got a sense of honor that got in the way. Art was the guy that couldn't wait for Patrick to mess up with Tashi in order to get with her, but he waited several years after college to do so, and he made her his coach. Years go by, Art was getting tired and wanted to retire, but I guess by the end of the movie his passion was reignited by winning, even though it was orchestrated by Tashi, but I'll get to her in a bit. Patrick was the exact opposite of Art. He was the better tennis player and better with the ladies. However, he admits that the woman sees him as the guy they wouldn't marry. And can you blame him? He did accept it though. He is a user and wants everything handed to him, but he's not faring so much in that department. He was actually in love with Tashi, but thanks to Art's meddling, the relationship ended. Towards the end, he wanted to win, but his love for Tashi clouded on what he wanted. Now Tashi, she is the main McCoy I wanted to talk about. She came from a poor family and she had to work her way to get to the top. Once she blew out her knee, she was mainly coaching. I think she actually loved Art, but she preferred the bad boy that is Patrick. Now, I didn't know at first of why Art and Tashi hated Patrick, but it became clear to me that they hated him when Tashi and Patrick had an argument before a game and blew out her knee, which killed her chances at a tennis career. But Art and Tashi are stupid rich and done well for themselves. Patrick was the one homeless, so I don't get the hate and hostility towards him. Anyway, I see that she wanted to be close to the game so bad that she pushed Art into hating the game and wanted to retire. She did threaten to leave him if he did retire, which brings me to believe that all those years ago in that hotel room, as soon as she made that face, she knew she could manipulate them both to do anything she wanted, and she did exactly that. With Art, it was with an ultimatum. Patrick, all you had to do was throw him some ass and sell the dream that they could be together once again. So in a way, she messed up both their lives psychologically. So like that meme with the movie villain, and the actual villain plays a significant part in this movie. It was lucky that the movie ended the way it did. After Art found out Patrick slept with Tashi, I don't know what would have went down afterwards. I would say Art was the real victim in this movie, but it's not, because he played his part in all those years ago to get the girl that he wanted. But the real victim is that the child of Art and Tashi had together. She's around a possible suicidal father and a horrible mother that will one day tear the whole family apart because of Tashi's selfish goals. But maybe I'm reading too much into it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this movie. That's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll catch you all next time.